even when my male actors, even when they are supportive, there are things I have to cater through their ego. Even the most non-egoistical man is unable to take directions from a female director. Sometimes I feel I'm a woman. It's because of that. Maybe I'm young. It's because of that. People don't take me seriously. I can only tell what I did. I did a lot of backstage. Play Ghost Roast that we just performed. There were these tiny kids who came up to me and asked me, "Are you really a ghost?"
Hi Akriti.
Hi Deepa.
Nice meeting you after a long time.
Are same here. I felt so happy after seeing you. कितने दिन बाद मिले?
Yeah, that's true. So you just finished a run of your group at Prithvi.
Yes.
And you did a new play, I think, for children.
Actually, we opened it last year.
Okay.
And we did 2 shows last year, and then after a year, of course, the next 2 shows we did now.
And the other plays that you did for this?
The other play was Boing Boing, which we have been doing for the past 5 years, I think. So these 2 plays.
Okay. And are you planning on working on a new play?
I am actually. It's a historical and based near the Gadar movement of India. There was this woman called Samru Begum during that time, who was one of the richest women in India at that time. And when the Britishers came to Red Fort, she was the one who sent her army from Meerut to help Bahadur Shah Jafar. So that was very fascinating for me. So I want to research on that and work on that play.
You made a film which was also based on a historical concept.
Yes, yeah. I did. Yeah. So yeah, I think history excites
me. Something which excites
you. Yeah. In fact, I keep getting ideas about making more historical films and historical plays, and I'm like, no, make a few modern ones first and then go back to history. But this play is like gripping me, so I might work on it now.
There are, I think, unusually long gaps between your production, considering you work on very complicated product. I mean, the one you did on Ghalib,
right.
And the one you've done on poetry and stuff, so on words, bowls,
right.
So I mean, very interesting concepts and very well researched concepts.
Thanks.
So is that why it takes you so long to?
I don't know. Do you think it takes long? Because I've made 18 plays in the past 7 years, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think this is the right phase. Also, I keep doing other things because I'm an actor. I'm acting in other plays. Then I'm also trying to make short films sometimes, and I made that film. I'm writing scripts for films, for my own films. So yeah, I'm constantly writing and trying to create. But yeah, it does take time, I guess.
And as a group who has now been working on the Bombay stage for over 10 years?
As a group, less than 10 years. As an actor, I have been working for 10 years.
Yeah. So, can you talk about a little about how you feel Mumbai Theatre has evolved or changed, or whether it's more difficult to do theatre now or it's easier? What is the scene like, according to you?
I have always felt, and this has not changed even now, that somehow theatre needs more support from, from the government, from the people, from, agencies promoting it. Like Mumbai TheatreGuide is awesome. They always promote the plays. I mean, I don't even need to send them a message. They already have the upcoming shows on their pages. We need to talk a lot more about theatre, and it is so niche. Theatre has become so niche. Very few people watch it. And especially youngsters. I mean, when I see theatre audience, I mostly find I don't find Gen Z or really young people coming to theatre. There has to be a way to address that. We have to maybe change the way we are telling our stories on stage and make them more communicative to the newer generation. Maybe we need to change our format of storytelling or something. That is what I feel.
And you worked on children's plays also. How does
Yes.
that work?
I love making children's plays. Uh, it works. I mean, you have to think very differently while writing a children's play, because you have to get into the mind of those kids, and you have to realize that they might not comprehend, they might not follow through the thread of the story, but they still would understand the concept. They would see the world in a very different way. For example, this play Ghost Roast that we just performed, there were these tiny kids who came up to me and asked me, "Are you really a ghost?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. Please touch me." And I realized that the way their minds work or perceive things is completely different from how we perceive it. तो कुछ तो मतलब we should मतलब we have to like really get into their headspace and make things, but then it helps you to get more creative with your content, because you can think out of the box, you can think like a child, and it's a lot of fun and needs a lot of energy on stage to perform it.
When you were a child, did you watch any theatre?
No, never. I think I watched I mean, apart from college or school mein jo we do the skits, never a full play. I was part of a skit. Then my dad is an engineer, so he took me to watch a play. कहीं से कोई आया था in his office. There was an auditorium and there was a play happening about Oppenheimer. Okay, about the atom bomb. So we watched the play, and of course, the play was about the internal struggles of the man. And my dad, after watching the play, my dad was like, but they didn't tell us the technical details about the atom bomb. I'm like, "Arey, these engineers, kya karenge inka?" So yeah, that. But I started watching theatre once I came to Mumbai, once I decided to be an actor. Then I watched a lot of plays at Prithvi. But before that, nothing. No. In my city, there is no auditorium where plays are performed regularly in Roorkee.
Yeah. So when you came to Mumbai, did you come with the idea of also doing theatre or doing cinema or what?
I came with the idea of doing cinema. I started with doing television, but once I saw theatre, once I got in touch with somebody to do my first play, I just fell in love with it. I love it so much now that I can never stop being on stage.
Actually, a lot of people who come here and start doing theatre, either is because they were exposed to theatre as children and they fell in love with the medium, or they watched a play, which changed their perception.
Right.
That, oh, theatre can also do this.
Yes, right.
So which was the play like that for you, which made you decide, okay, this is something I want to do as well?
The first play that I watched was Ismat Manto Hazir Hoon, and it was so amazing. I was doing my acting classes during that time, and I saw Ankur Vikal do the part on stage. Boo jo story hai na, he was doing that. And I saw him perform on stage, and I was like, oh my god, what level of acting is this? What is this craft? So even when I was in my acting class, when I was learning it during that time, I would always remember his performance of that play directed by Nasir sir. And I was like, I have to match that level. So probably that was the play that really affected me as an actor.
And which play did you start with acting?
I did a very small part in Gulzar sir's Athanniya Mumbai ki. I was playing a sweeper, no dialogue, nothing, just standing there in the background.
So somebody who comes from outside Mumbai, from a small town, how do you get into the theatre space? Because you made a niche for yourself in theatre without actually having any connection.
Right. So I can only tell what I did. I did a lot of backstage. Because I am an architect, I can do multiple things. I can do graphic design, I can help in creation of sets and all those things. So the first group that I got into, I was doing a lot of backstage for them. So even if my role was just to stand on the stage, I became indispensable, sort of. Then I joined the next group. I was on stage, but I was also doing a lot of things backstage. So I think instead of just go, and of course, then keep honing your craft as an actor, because once you step on stage, there is no excuse that why are you not able to deliver. But what really helped me was that I was so passionate about it that other aspects of it also interested me. So, and also that is what helped me make my own theater group, because I learned how it works inside out. सेट कहाँ से लाना है, पोस्टर कहाँ से प्रिंट कराने हैं, कॉस्ट्यूम कहाँ से लाना है, like I know everything. So that helped.
So what made you decide to start your own group?
I wanted more stage time, which I was not getting. Because being a woman, even in most of the stories you have a side role, है ना? So I realized it recently that when I write for myself and for other women, like in Ghost Roast, we have an all women's cast, and it feels so wonderful. So, more stage time. I can write for myself, and I wanted to tell my own stories. That is what prompted me. I was like, writing attracted me somehow. That.
So you took acting classes. Did you also learn? I mean, take formal classes for writing, script writing? Yeah.
I didn't. No. In fact, I'm scared of formal classes for writing, because I'm an untrained writer and I'm somehow able to write, put together a story. Whenever someone talks to me about plot and structure and first act and third act, I'm like, please don't tell me. What if I lose whatever I have? I'm very scared of it. So no classes.
And you also write poetry, right? And you have a blog on which you...
I do.
Yeah. And you've used poetry for at least a couple of your plays. Unfortunately, you didn't do more shows of those plays. They were quite wonderful, actually.
Yes. You're talking about Bowl and Ghalib and all those. Yeah, I'm planning to do more shows. Getting an audience for poetry is a little bit difficult. People really love watching comedy, I think.
And you find it easy to write comedy?
Now I do. In fact, I love it. I'm getting a knack of writing comedy now.
So you must have written a fair amount of plays by now.
I have written, I did 18 plays. I think I've written 17 of them. Yeah, I have.
That's a great record, of actually having written 17 plays, and you're still considered an actor and not a playwright. Why is that?
Sometimes I feel I'm a woman. It's because of that. Maybe I'm young. It's because of that. People don't take me seriously. People don't take my writing seriously. I don't know why. I don't know. I have no idea.
So the plays that you've written and the plays you've performed so far, you find that there isn't enough, there aren't enough venues for you to perform. And do you travel a lot with them, or how do you? Because it takes a lot of work to write.
Initially, I was traveling a lot. I was taking the plays to Pune and Delhi, and in Mumbai also. Like Mumbai, I used to perform at Aramnagar. You've come to for a few plays here. Now, sort of, I have reduced that. I mostly perform at Prithvi and a few more venues. Because it takes a lot of effort and the number of audience is not so much. So especially if it is a big play, you need a bigger stage. If there are 10 actors, then you can't do it in Aramnagar. So when I started, I was mostly doing plays with just 4 people, sometimes even solo things. But now, as I've increased the cast and the set and whatever, the infrastructure, it's very difficult to perform it in Aramnagar. So the venues are not so many.
And how do you find actors for your plays? Because that's a problem which most groups talk about, that actors bhag jate.
Okay. What helps is that I'm myself an actor, so I'm friends with most of the actors. So I'm working in a play and I meet people and we are friends, and then I cast them in my play, then they make a play, they cast me in their play. So it's like a puri community. I've never faced a problem in finding actors. I find them.
This the community thing you're talking about is a relatively new thing. No, earlier there used to be groups which had their own set of
Right.
actors, and they wouldn't work in each other's plays, and they wouldn't probably
Right.
even see each other's work.
Right.
So you find that a relatively new thing in Bombay?
Deepa, ever since I came, this was not the thing that you have to be in one group. Even at that time, it was fluid, like you can work in more than one group. And I've never, like, no director has ever told me ki don't work in the other one. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe before that it was like that.
So the new play that you're working on, the historical, you said, it's going to obviously take a lot of work and a lot maybe expense, and you'll need more actors. And do you have a plan for how do you plan
I do.
to
So
stage it?
yeah, the reason that I'm planning to perform this play at this time also is because I have this wonderful cast of women that came together to perform Ghost Roast. Absolutely supportive women. We plan to work on it together. We might even pool in money to make the play because this has to be grander. There will be music, there is dancing, and all that. So yeah, that's the plan, to do it collectively.
So will you talk a little more about this group of women that you're
Oh,
working
it's
with?
so wonderful. How do I even start? So, I never knew the difference, Deepa. Jab tak, like every time, like once you enter a theater space, there would be men and women, right? And we would rehearse and come out. Somehow, this time I just decided let's do it with an all women's cast. And the moment I would enter the rehearsal space as a director, the energy was different. It was so collaborative, very happy, and very supportive. Even when my male actors, even when they are supportive, there are things I have to cater through their ego. Even the most non-egoistical man is unable to take directions from a female director. Okay, there is some boundary. So when all these women came about, we made such a fun play. There was no hassle. And all those stories about no, women won't be able to work together, they'll be jealous, nothing. It's all मतलब I don't know who किसने फैलाई है, ऐसा नहीं है. And I think especially now because we are talking so much about it, I think we have all decided कि नहीं वो तो करना ही नहीं है ना, we have to support each other. So it was wonderful and a lot of fun.
So on this note, we'll wrap up. Thanks.
Thank you.
Lovely talking to you.
Same here.